I'll do the intro. All right, I'm assuming we're recording.
Yeah.
All right, so welcome back to Skin Deep Stories, where we talk tattoos, motherhood, and all the chaos in between. We need to preface this with a little bit of a warning. Maybe not a kid-friendly episode.
Yeah. If your kids are around, don't let them listen to this. So we're calling it the one about sex.
Yeah.
So just about like sexuality, and in general, and as mothers.
Yeah.
And just
all the sexy stuff.
Sexy stuff.
We're giving you a few seconds to get the kiddos out or press pause because we're gonna dish a little bit about some stuff.
Yeah, we're just gonna talk about like things that some people may find gross or like, all the like
girly stuff. The changes and the stuff they didn't tell you and the things that you're like, oh, is this normal?
Yeah, the taboo stuff and so we thought it would be appropriate to have like little sleepover attire.
I love that we were saying right before, I'm like, okay, so we're talking about sex and we're the most covered up and dressed we've been for this entire
just like
episode.
I'm wearing a Snuggie, I have a blanket.
And talk about like our creature comforts.
But we're cozy and like, it's, I think it's cool. It reminds me of like Halloween. Like I dressed up as like a really gross old hag. Like I wanted to look the ugliest that I could possibly look.
Your costume was insane.
And you know how liberating it is to like feel like that? Like, first of all, I love being in costume because like I feel like
you're a whole other person.
Liberated.
Yeah.
And like to be like really like disgusting, I find it liberating. And I find it like, I don't know.
Because you don't have to put on airs of being like pretty and hair done and makeup and like how other, so when you can go full out like,
you're not like dressing for the male gaze or whatever gaze,
Fuck right off and leave me alone.
And like I said before we started recording, a lot of dudes like I've heard say like, I love it when my girl's in like sweatpants and like a messy bun and a hoodie, like they think it's sexy.
Yeah, like, and I think there's a whole wide range of things.
Yeah.
Like, did you ask Sean's permission to do this episode?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what did he say?
Well, I said, like, I'm not going to, like...
permission, but, like...
Yeah.
Hey,
I ran it by him, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything, like, super personal and specific, but, like, we're going to be talking about sex. Are you cool with me, like, talking about stuff? And he's like, you have kids, I have a kid, like, we know sex is being had. Like, like, duh.
I remember I don't know why this stands out in my memory, but we were at my grandparents' house, having supper at my grandparents' house, and my brother was probably 6 or 7. I don't even know what inspired the conversation, but he had this theory that he's like, well, mom and dad have 2 kids, so they've had sex twice. And Nana and Grampy have 5 kids, so they had sex 5 times. And this is like
a lot more than that, kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sorry to tell you.
And he's like, because in his head sex was to procreate. Like, it was to have kids. Like, he was little. And again, not sure why he thought this was appropriate dinner conversation, but I still remember like my family cracking up and just kind of laughing. And we weren't super open about, but we had these moments. And I remember my grandmother looking at him and going, we're not dead yet, kiddo. And it has resonated in my head because they must have been in their late 60s, early 70s at the time. And my grandmother was big on like, no, he still holds my hand. And she's like, he used to give me a peck goodnight. And she's like, no, if you're going to kiss me, you're going to really kiss me.
I love that.
And see, it didn't settle in at that age. But as I got older, I understood that they still had intimacy. Like they would still sit next to each other and hold hands. They would still,
That's so important for me. My biggest fear, and I tell Sean all the time, I'm a very, like, I think I have all the love languages, but the physical touch one.
You're like, I just have them all.
I do. It's, like, hard. And one of my biggest ones, if not the biggest, is physical touch. And I need intimacy. I need, whether it's cuddling or, like, literally just, like, looking into each other's eyes. Like, I need that connection. Like, it's so important to me. And, like, kissing before going to sleep and, like, my biggest fear is becoming roommates.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose that. And I feel like you have to be on it. And I'm so on it all the time. It's probably annoying. But I'm like, no. Like, I want to make sure to kiss. Like, I get up and greet him at the door usually when he comes home from work. Things like that I'm like, we need to maintain this.
But it's funny because your love language might not be the other person's.
Oh, no.
And this is me and Janik. Like, so Janik and I we have different love languages. And understanding that and understanding what intimacy to him is versus intimacy for me, he is super physical touch.
And like sex.
Well, not even just like slapping my ass while I'm cooking or like coming and just like being all cozy and cuddly and like on the like.
And you're like, that's too much.
And for me, sometimes I'm just overstimulated. So we were just talking about this before we started where like if I've had like a busy day, lots of people, lots of chaos, lots of noise, I'm the oversensory and now I just like, please get away from me. Like just don't, it's just too much in my bubble.
Yeah.
Less now, but when it was funny because when I was teaching, we were talking about this before where I would come home and it was just busy and noisy and chaos and kids and stuff. And I'd come home and he'd try and cuddle and the cat would cuddle and the dog would come up and then the kids would, and I was just like,
I need my space.
I can't breathe. Like, I can't.
Yeah. I feel like that's part of becoming a mom too. And I remember, like, first you're pregnant. So, like, your body is not your own. You're a vessel. Yeah. And then when you have a baby, like, they're super attached to you. Like, you know, you're carrying them around all the time. They're like, it's you know, that separation from your child doesn't happen for, like, I'd say a year or whatever.
I think a lot of marriages struggle during that time.
Yeah.
Where it's the... Like she goes from being my like hot girlfriend, hot wife, you know, like to okay, she's carrying my child. There's that lovey, and then it's like now all
pregnant women are sexy. I find, you know,
like there is a glow that happens.
Yeah. Were you like? Did you guys have sex while you were pregnant?
Yeah, we did. Not like I can't remember whether there was like a ton, but yeah, we were still intimate all the way through for sure.
I know some girls who like did not have sex the entire time or after.
See, I feel bad for them, but I also feel bad for their husbands. That's a lot. Like you went from, especially usually like honeymoon phase and being all up in each other and together, and then to like have it cut off.
Yeah, but I'm like, you know, if you don't feel like having sex, obviously don't force yourself to. No. But yeah, my hormones were like all over the place, and we did like, you know, and it was.
Oh, I remember like part of, I think it was during second trimester where all of a sudden everything ramps up. And you start feeling yourself again. You're not as sick as often. It's like yeah. And just riding those waves. But those waves have happened, like, from the time you're a teenager, now heading into, like, perimenopause, which is this new fun roller coaster I seem to be on. Like, the libido changes, the things I wanted in my 20s have very much changed now going into, like, my mid-40s, where it was just, like, I didn't need intimacy in my 20s. Yeah. 20s was just fun and wherever.
And you don't really know who you are then at that point.
No, and you're discovering it and you're like playing. And like I've got some crazy fucking stories from my 20s, which I've heard them. Some I'm very happy about. Juicy. Some I think twice now going, oh my God, my kids are that age now. Please don't do that. Yeah. Like I have zero regrets about, well, not zero, but I don't have a lot of regrets from that time because I got to learn about my sexuality. I was very open about my sexuality. I was very comfortable with it. But now in my 40s, I need something more. Like, it's not... Like, it used to be like, hey, want to go? And, I'd be into it. Now I'm like, no, you got to start in the morning with...
Priming.
Hi, how are you? Yeah. You're pretty. I like you. Yeah. You know, like, I hate to say, but you have to plant the seeds. And for women, it's so much more psychological than physical.
Big time.
And
if I'm not feeling right or, like, you know, like, obviously we have, like, arguments and, like, you know, miscommunications and things like that. And if that's going on, like, I am shut off. Yeah. Yeah. It's like there's a switch that goes off. And then, if I'm being treated sweetly and, like, you know, paid attention to, and just like small, literally, I realize my standards are like not very high, and I'm a simple person, and I'm easy to please. Yeah. Like, do something. He held the car door open for me. We went out on Saturday night, and like we were leaving the pub, and he held the car door open for me, and I was like, to me, that's a huge deal, and it's just like, like
the little things, you know? But it's the little things, or I've found in the past couple of years, taking things off my plate without being asked, where I don't have to task manage, where
micromanage.
If you take the mental load off, it gives me a lot more room. So I used to say to Jean-Luc, if I've been on the go serving everyone all day, okay, so kids, like everything, like from the second I wake up, the first thing I do before I even get to the bathroom is feed the cats. So I'm already taking care of something else other than me. Yeah, I go downstairs, I feed the dog. I have exactly. Like, before I even take 5 minutes for myself for my first sip of coffee, I have fed the fish, fed the dog, fed the cats. You know, like, already it's acts of service to the things and people and animals around me.
And that plays on your mind.
Yeah, and then all day it's the meal prepping, the grocery shopping, the errands running, the pick up, the drop off. Then, depending on which job I did, they taking care of that person's needs. So when I come home, if now I have to do the dishes, clean the dishes before I can cook the meal, serve the meal, like, rally everyone to help clean up after the meal, double check. Like, if I have done all of this all day, I'm tired, and you're like, let's go. Yeah. I'm like,
fuck no. Last thing on your mind.
Yeah, but I'm like, if you take a couple of those, and I, like, for me, my love language, acts of service. Yeah. When you do little things that help me out or just take the load off, guess what? I have more energy and more room, and I look at, like, when I watch him vacuum. Yeah. Or do the dishes.
That's what I mean. Like, it's not like we're not asking for $1 million. Like, we're not asking for diamonds. It's like help out around the house and like, like I relieve that mental load.
Yeah, I get so like.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for Sean. Like, I always like he does the laundry. He does it. He folds it, and he like sometimes he'll leave it in a basket for me to put away, and then I'll just leave it there, and then eventually he'll end up putting it away, or me. But I hate doing laundry. I don't mind putting it in the wash and stuff, but like I just fucking hate it. I don't know why.
For me, it's like putting things away after. Like, it's all done, it's all clean, but we live in
yeah, a lot of people do. And, like, he's just, like, certain things. One time it was like, oh, we need a card for this party or whatever. And he's like, I already got it. And I was like, you got a card? Like, what? Yep. Like, he went out on his own. I didn't have to tell him. And, like, you know.
How crazy is that, though? The little tiny things where I'm like, oh, you were an adult today.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know,
and, like,
I think
I'm still not used to it. They, you know, Sean and Killian have lived with us for a year and a half or more, and I'm still like,
they say it takes 4 to 7 years with blended families to really settle into.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I was reading statistics because we had another topic we had been like kind of looking at, and I was reading statistics, and it says to really settle into roles and routines and like kids and all that kind of stuff takes 4 to 7 years for blended families, and something like 40% of families are now blended.
Yeah,
with step parents. You know, so that's
and things are constantly changing.
And things are constantly changing.
Yeah,
and so all of these, I think. Men, like, if I say to Jean-Luc, if I call him right now and say I'm going to jump you when I get home, like, I'll be ready.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's no, I need a little bit more priming than I used to.
Yeah.
And...
Well, it is, like, more, like, physiological for guys, right? Yeah. Like, you know how, like...
He can be sick as a dog, and you know, you want to go, he's like, yep. I'm like, dude.
But you know how, like, guys can, like, fuck a girl who, like, they don't care about or, like, aren't even attracted to? You know, like, and girls...
Not all. Let's, again...
maybe not all. Nothing we say, but we generalize, whatever. Yeah. But, like, for the most part, women are, like, pickier, I think, especially for just, like, one-night stands or whatever.
I think it's because, like, we have higher consequences. Like, the consequences for women of doing that. And, again, there's stereotypes that have lived forever. It's, like, the slut-shaming and the, you know, like, if a girl has 5 one-night stands and a guy has 5 one-night stands, like, it's... You know, the girl's kind of looked at like she's easy, where he's like, yeah, bro, you know.
Yeah. He conquered something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that hasn't seemed to completely disappear. It's still out there. It's still, you know, or a girl that's really comfortable in her sexuality gets really, like, in my 20s, I was very comfortable, like very open, very comfortable with my sexuality. I had some really, really cool experiences. I had some great people that I was comfortable with, that I got to explore with, that I got to experiment with, that, sorry, Dad, if you're listening. But I felt lucky because I was safe in that. I was not going. It wasn't like one night stands. I wasn't
dangerous,
being promiscuous.
It is dangerous.
Exactly. Yeah. So I always kind of had this fear of, like, I wasn't meeting people at bars, going to their houses. Like, I was with friends. I was with people I knew. I was with, you know. So we got to experiment in a fun and open, kind of carefree way. Yeah. Which I'm super thankful for. But I was. To other people, if I tell them the stories or what had happened, like, there was judgment there because it wasn't the norm. It wasn't, you know? Yeah. And so as I got older, I think as we get older, we kind of look back on, well, why was I doing that? Was that okay? Like, and I had a couple comments.
Talking about threesomes.
Yeah, well, threesomes. Thanks for throwing that. I was trying to, like, all right, let's be honest. But no,
I mean, I'm not going to say we've all done it, but, like, it's, you know, it's pretty common, like...
Yeah, and
for experimenting, let's say.
And even now, more and more, there's even terms for it. It's called, like, a throuple, or, you know, like, people have a lot more open relationships, or they're talking more. Because they used to have, what was it, like, key parties and swinger parties? Yeah. But it was kind of hush-hush. Yeah. And now, even in sitcoms, it's a thing. Yeah. Like, I remember watching it in Shameless, and then we were watching The Connors the other day, and there's, like, a throuple, you know.
Listen, it's only weird if you make it weird. Like, I always say that about stuff. Like, it's, like... If that's what you're into, cool. It's just, it gets complicated. Like, there are emotions, like, we're emotional, way more emotional than men. Like, just, you know, society is made that way. And it can get messy. But in your case, like you were talking about with those people that you were safe with, like, it didn't get, like, it was just all, like, chill.
I still talk to, like, okay, so this was when I was, like, 18, 19, 20 years old, you know? And, like, there's still a couple that I still talk to. Like, not daily or anything, but
once in a while,
it was still a friendship. It was still a check-in. It was still, you know, so it was, again, a place where I didn't feel used. Like, I think a lot of people on the outside are like, oh, they're using you. I'm Like,
well, I'm using them.
Yeah,
or like let's say a one night stand.
Exactly.
If it's a guy, like he's not using me, like I wanted it too.
Yeah.
Like,
and I don't know why there's this mental block that like one person's being.
Yeah.
So I guess women have been used in the past a lot, or looked down on.
Like
so I
naive
guess,
or whatever.
Yeah.
But I find a lot of like I know like a handful of girls I could think of right now who are like they do like see guys and they're like, okay, like can you go home now? Like that that like
well, the stereotype was we'd be clingy.
Yeah, but no,
like,
now it's like the opposite. I find like the guys are like I don't know if it's our age and like a lot of people are like divorced or separated.
Yeah, maybe.
And like the men are more like possessive and stuff, and like the girls are like, ugh, like give me some space,
But women have come into this, I guess, more empowerment over the, like where it's I have my own job, I have my own car, I have my own this. I don't take care of myself.
You.
I don't,
You're like supposed to add to my life, not make it more difficult.
Exactly, and I think it's been difficult for men in some ways because it used to be, like we're going back, we're dating ourselves a bit, but it used to be that they would provide and women would run the house. So we're going back 40, 20, 30, 40s. But then for years that was what it was biologically, and then when women hit the workforce, and now we're both bringing in income, we're both bringing in, we both have credit, we both have, and so for a woman now it's what do you bring to the table that I can't do for myself?
Yeah.
Like, so unless you're adding to my piece,
yeah,
it's easier. Like, I know a lot of people are like, it's easier to be alone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to
I don't need someone else to take care of us.
Yeah, basically. Exactly. I don't need another, like, an additional child or,
yeah.
So being alone, I know a lot of people who are quite happy alone.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, I definitely need, I've always been someone like you were talking about when you were younger. I've always been in, like, long-term relationships. Like, people would always ask me, like, who are you with now? Not, like, do you have a boyfriend? It was always, like, from, not overlapping, but, like, I'd be single. Like, I had a hard time being by myself. And, like, I forget where, I always lose my train of thought.
But I thoughts all at once.
Yeah, exactly. But,
no, we were talking about, like, people who are okay being alone. And there's some that like the dynamic of being in a relationship.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Like, I find, like, I'm, like, old school, and, like, I'm always like, I'm a wife. Like, I want to make you dinner and I want it hot on the table. Like, when you walk in like that, but also I'm like a feminist. So it's,
it's a hard balance.
It's a balance. Yeah. Like,
because I still do that too. I
love,
still
like,
cook. I still clean. I still.
Yeah. But, like, obviously I have even more incentive to do that because Sean is such a great partner. But I love, like, waiting on him, and, like, because he does it with me. I probably wouldn't feel that way if, like, I was, like, not being taken care of also.
Exactly. I think it's so funny because one of the ways I show love is I love cooking for my family. Mm-hmm. We don't order out a lot. We don't, like, we don't do, like, hot dogs. And, like, I like cooking home-cooked meals, real meals, like, with multiple ingredients and fresh ingredients. And they take a while to do. I actually really love cooking, but part of what I love cooking about is cooking for people, for an audience, and I show love through food. Mm-hmm. Like, it's you come over, I'm going to feed you, or I'm going to, mm-hmm. But it's funny because John Dick's like, that doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, like, doesn't matter to him.
No, he'll grab a bowl of cereal and be just as happy.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
John too, he's like, I'll have a tomato sandwich for dinner. I'm like, what?
I'm like, I know. And I'm like, I just spent 6 hours. Like, but it's not even just the meal prep. It's okay, I thought about the grocery list and what we were missing. And I went to get it and I shopped for it and I lifted it and I paid for it and I brought it home. Like, and then I organized it and I put it all away. And, like, so to me, I put in all of this energy to do this because he's like, I love you.
Good.
And he's like, okay, I could have had mini weights. I'm like,
yeah.
So we've had these discussions of, like, how I show love, how he shows love, and then how the person's interpreting it. Mm-hmm. Because, again, if he's super physical touch, I'm acts of service. Yeah. And I love that this has become a thing, like the love, because it helps psychologically. Yeah.
Compartmentalize.
Because if I do this big meal, or, like, I've meal prepped for the whole week for the kids, making sure everybody's healthy, making sure everybody's meals plans are, and then nobody really cares, I feel unappreciated. Yeah. And yet I put that all on myself. It wasn't necessarily something that they wanted, needed, or so I'm learning going.
We always, like, create this, like, reality in our minds, and then, like, if it's not, like, lived up to whatever expectation we have, like, I do that with the kids too when we do, like, outings and stuff, like, it's gonna be so awesome, and then it's not, and then you're, like, disappointed. I'm like, I created all of that in my mind. Like,
so the same thing happens with sex. The same thing happens with, just like, if I do all this and it falls flat, I'm like, okay.
So that's what I was gonna say about, like, being in long-term relationships. So I noticed, like, I remember at one time asking my, like, gynecologist, like, I have no sex drive, like, what's wrong with me? Yep. And I was, like, working at Nick's at the time. I was on my feet all day. I was really tired at the end of the day, and, like, the guy I was with at the time, it had become like a roommate situation. It's just like, turns out I just like didn't want to be with him anymore, but I didn't realize it. Like, you know, so I realized I'm so like, that's my pattern. Like,
what is
like
just once? Oh, I'm
you
so
okay?
sorry. Yeah,
is it hot?
No, it just splashed.
Okay.
I'm not sure what I did.
Like getting comfortable and then it becoming like not putting in any effort anymore, and then it kind of like your romance dissipating, if there even was romance in the beginning. Like in that relationship there wasn't, like, and it just fizzles out.
Trying and you end up in
complacent and just like not trying. And like you know, at the end of the night you watch TV, like if we're like sitting watching TV, like I want your arm around me, like I need, you know, that contact. And I'm so afraid because like I know Sean is the right person for me, like I want to be with him forever, like, you know. And I think it's so important to pay attention to that. And sex too, like if it's been like he said yesterday, he's like, it was a week that we hadn't, and I'm like, really? Like it didn't feel like that, but I had started my new job last week and I was super tired, and we'd like flirt like during the day and be like, oh, tonight, da, da, da.
See, that sets the tone for me.
Yeah.
If the flirting
build up.
Yeah, the build up, because for me it's the anticipation. If you just drop it on my lap now, I'm like,
my mind's not
like,
there.
And because my days are so structured, so planned, and so like I go to bed the night before thinking about the timeline for like I knew what time I had to get up today, what time I had to do my makeup, what time I had to be at the studio, what time exactly. So if in that mix in the morning, especially, you're like, hey, let's go, I'm like,
that's not in my plan.
It's not in my, like, I don't have time, or it's going to make me late, and then it's going to make me anxious, and I don't like that. So
you're not going to be able to enjoy it.
I don't. And my mind, like, there have been times where, like, where you just cave because I'm like, okay, you know, where I'm like, okay, we're fine. But I'm going, the entire time my mind's not in it because I'm like, okay, I'm 10 minutes behind. I'm going to have to, like, okay, what can I cut? You know, so.
You always say, like, there's perks to divorce. And, like, you know, the weekends where it's Sean and I, and, like, there's, you know, we don't have the kids, and we get that time together, which is really nice. And, like, that's the best time. And, like, like, you're talking about the morning. Like, we're such morning people.
See, he's morning. I'm not.
Morning and afternoon
so it's,
for me.
Like, for me, I'm not. Like, no.
Nighttime, I'm, like, sleepy, man. I had my chamomile tea already. I'm tired. I'm at my prime at, like, 8 a.m.
And it's funny because I'm not a morning person, but then a lot of the time by nighttime, I'm just like, I don't have energy left. Yeah. You know, so it's again, I love this refinding balance, and I love that him and I, like, we recently had sex in a room in our house that we hadn't had sex in. I'm like, we've never done it in here.
Wait, can I guess which one it was?
You can try.
Is it the studio? It's clean.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. Look at the couch.
Actually, it's so funny you say that because I have a little private studio at home, and Sean was like, we never like Kirsten
because
this
like
room or whatever.
Like because we
watch. Yeah, but I'm sure you weren't on your tattoo table.
No.
Like
it's funny because it's like the cleanest room in the house.
Yeah.
Like it is the
and you
constantly
clean it before everything.
Cleaned.
Like
exactly.
No judgment, but it's so funny that Sean just said that to me too.
Like,
and I'm like,
yeah. So it's just like, hey, we're still hitting firsts here, you know, like.
Yeah.
But
at first I was gonna guess the solarium.
No, that we've done many times. Janik loves the idea of being caught, but not actually being caught.
Yeah.
You know, like
the windows there.
Yeah. And I'm what about the neighbors?
Can we talk about the clubs that you guys have been to?
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a really long time. But like we've gone through such a range. Like I've been together in 12 years, right? And we were not supposed to end up together. He was my rebound. He was really when I met him, like both of us were at the end of our marriages. Things had been falling apart. Things just were not going well. And it was I didn't have the emotional capacity or the willingness or the want to really get into a relationship. Like I didn't want to bounce from one to the other. And he was literally just supposed to be a fuck buddy. Mm-hmm. Like he was really like, we were both very clear about this, that it was just nice to know somebody else who was also going through a rough time, like a separation, also had young kids. So there was an understanding that we're tired, emotional, exhausted, and just, it was just something for us. It was literally, he was just, he was a fuck buddy. He was my rebound. We're still rebounding, but we started our relationship on that.
Yeah, like it was pure sex.
It was pure sex. It was pure meet up and fuck around and have sex. And like, and then
John and I too, actually.
Yeah, and then as time kind of wore on, there was kind of you'd end up talking about like your day or your work or your kids or whatever. And it was like we had a lot in common, and like it evolved into something that neither of us, and we were both very clear, this is not going to be anything. This is not going to be a thing. This is going to be, like.
Universe had other plans.
Apparently. And so we started our relationship on a really weird, like it wasn't going out on dates. It was literally meeting up at hotel rooms, and like just having a few hours together.
So hot.
But what worked from that was we weren't trying to be something we weren't. We were very honest in our emotional chaos and the fact that we were just a mess. And the
That's
fact
cool
that,
because then like that dynamic of like one's more interested than the other, that all goes away.
Yeah, it was
because that's what the stress is like at the beginning of a relationship is like he's really into me and I'm not that into him, or the girl's like
or trying to put on airs.
Yeah,
and we weren't. We were just like I'm a wreck. I'm a mess. I'm exhausted. Like it was just so we weren't trying to be.
So you're your true selves.
We were really our like true, full, messy
there
selves.
There you go. Because we're all on our best behavior at the beginning of a relationship.
Oh, we weren't. Yeah, at all. We weren't.
So there you go. You got to know each other like right away.
Yeah. So we met each other in that, and then we started talking about our pasts and our histories and people and this kind of stuff. And I had been a lot more experimental than he had been. I had been a lot more adventurous in terms of sexuality than he had been.
Yeah, he's changed a lot.
Yeah, but it was things he had always wanted to try. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's, so
I
was open to trying things. So I met someone through working that used to go to the Club L'Orage, which was a swingers club. And like it was something where I'm like, okay, cool, let's go check it out. And so we used to go, and
but you can participate or not.
Yeah, exactly. And so we never actually switched with anyone there. We were never swingers there or anything.
But you don't even have to like you can just go and like hang out and dance, right?
Yeah, but what was cool is it was kind of freeing because it was just like there was like a bar downstairs where you could like hang out and all this, and then you'd go upstairs and there was stuff going on, and they used to have event nights and things like that. But it was
I totally want to try it out.
Like it was what I loved about that place. What I thought they did really well was everything was super high consent. Like it was no one could really impose themselves. So compared to going to other clubs when we were like 18, 19 years old, where everyone's like, yeah, exactly, we were being felt up on the dance floor. This was incredibly respectful. It was like adults. There was a dress code. It was so funny because there was the first time we tried to go, Jean-Nic wasn't allowed in because the shoes he wore were orange. Like they were super strict about dress code.
Really?
Like, so their standards were very, very high.
Can't wear, like they have to be black?
It wasn't black. It was like the type of shoe. Like
really?
it was like
it wasn't like a dress shoe.
He was kind of like, what? Like they were super expensive shoes too. But he's like, I don't think you understand. These are, but yeah, they had a very strict. So he kind of got a little discouraged. But yeah, but we went anyway. So the next time we went, we were super dressed up and we were super. But what I liked was they really had standards that they were not willing to compromise on. And we went with like a couple friends that had like been there a bunch of times with new people, so we were comfortable, and we went and observed, and we had a good time, and we just
it must be such a turn on too to
but
be in that environment, and then you get home and or whatever, do whatever you want there, and
and like our fetishes, like our things that we like are a little bit different. Like he really likes public. Sorry babe, I'm putting all your shit out there, but he likes public. I don't. And especially when I was a teacher, the risk of getting caught.
You hear these scandals and shit all the time.
It was just I'm like, I don't want to risk it. I'm like, if we get like pulled over or indecent exposure or whatever, I'm like, the anxiety for me was, I'm like, this is not fun for me. Like I don't, like it really kind of, like I'm like, I know you love this and I can, but like I don't. It just didn't hit it for me. But at L'Orage or somewhere like that where it's public, but it's an okay place to be, and you're public.
Like in a, it was confined, like it's specific space for
they're like specific spaces, or big open spaces, or like you had options. And so it kind of hit it for him, it kind of hit it for me, where I could feel safe and I could let go. And so we had those experiences, and then like we hit kind of a lull for a little while, like just again masters, kids, commutes, stuff like that. So all of that kind of died down, and
isn't it funny, like in your 20s you're saying like you don't really know yourself, you're like learning what you like and all that, and then when like in that time, usually like late 20s now, mid-late 20s, you like settle down and have kids, and then like
the refiguring out everything.
And then so now like your kids are getting a bit older, like I said, have the times like when my kids are like at their dad's where it's just us, and like there's just, it's such a funny, and then like perimenopause starts, like it's like a weird, like I'm not there yet, like I do notice like my periods are like super super heavy, and like my PMS is really bad. Like there's definitely like hormone stuff going on, mind you. It like coincided with the COVID vaccine too, like right after I got it, my period, it was my first period after I had my daughter.
And it's like, how can you tell anymore whether it's pregnancy, COVID, vaccines, hormones, age, partner? We don't know. Like it's the
exactly. But anyways, like I basically can't leave my house on the first day of my period, like that's how bad it is.
Hot water bottle,
and like just volume, like it's horrible. So it's funny, like I'm starting to notice that, but it's like
I've had an IUD for like Ali's 16, so 16 years right after I had Ali.
I'm scared. I want to do it, but I'm
scared.
And
it's funny because it's one of those where it seems to be split, where people love it and swear by it, or have had really horrible experiences.
So I'm scared of that.
And see, I'm one of the ones who swear by it. I like it has been the most amazing form of birth control. No, like exactly, and I don't have to worry about getting pregnant, and it works really well for me. And it's like, but the idea of like I was on the pill before I had my daughter, and then it was just like I kept having breakthrough bleeding, and the amount wasn't enough, and it wasn't working. And then condoms are just, I'll be honest, like they were a pain in the ass. Where it's
everyone hates condoms.
Yeah, and then like one breaks or one slips or one, you know. So this to me, especially now, like I've been with Jean-Luc, like I haven't been with anybody else in a really long time. Like it's, you know, so for us this was safe. Yeah. He eventually wants to get a vasectomy. Like it's been on the like, I should, because I'm like I don't want to do another IUD, another round in the 5 years, 6 years that I have to.
Now it's your turn.
Like now I'm like, yeah, it's on you. I've been
Sean got a vasectomy it's probably, I think it was like at the end of the summer. I think it was in August or September. And what's crazy is
people don't know. Why don't you tell them what the instructions after a vasectomy are?
So you get the vasectomy, and then you have to come it's like 15 times in a month, which we worked out to like every second day.
Yep.
Which is fucking unrealistic for parents and working people.
Oh, when Jean-Luc got that information, he brought me the pamphlet. He's like,
by the way.
Wait. I'm like.
Yeah. So whether that's on the person themselves or their partner or whatever, but like we did not. It's been over 3 months. He was supposed to go and like get it checked to see if it like worked or whatever, but like he didn't go back yet.
And kind of needs to.
But we didn't. Yeah. But we didn't make our quota.
See, babe, it's impossible. I love you, but I'm not risking lockjaw for you. You know,
right?
Like, see, okay, so can we have a schedule?
I'm like, listen, it is what it is.
Like one day, okay, you take care of you on that day, then you have a day off, then I'll take care of you on that. Like
that's
you
it,
do,
but
like
we don't even have time for that. Like it's just unrealistic. So it's like, who do these? Like usually people are getting vasectomies when they're like in their 40s. Like,
I'm like, what 40-year-old wife wants to blow you 15 times in a month?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Or sex, or like masturbating, like not, you know.
I don't even know what the average like rate for our age is, like how many times couples are supposed to have sex or do have sex in a week or in a month. Some people it's 2 to 3 times a week, but the factors of your home life change that. So if you have more kids in the home or a heavier mental load, or you know, so there's a lot of variety. So I'm going 2 to 3 times a week we have weeks where we get to that, and then there's weeks where nope, that's just.
I would start to get worried if it's been like Sean yesterday saying like it was a week ago. I'm like, what? Like it didn't feel like that. Like and that
busy lives.
Yeah, but I'm so paranoid, like I said, to like become like stagnant and like be that roommate couple that I'm like, oh my god, like we need to prioritize this a little bit more. But
I think that's another thing that like we've both been through divorce, and I think when we don't prioritize our relationship, it's very easy to take that person for granted.
Yeah,
you know, and I think that's where it starts to kind of split. And you're either going to evolve with someone or you're going to evolve apart. And Jean-Luc and I have evolved, and we've gone through, like I said, swingers clubs. We did open relationship. We did closed relationship. We've done, you know, and we keep re-altering our paradigm for what fits us. Mm-hmm. But it's always been open communication. Everything is always on the table. Sometimes he'll hit a peak and I'll hit a drop. Sometimes hormones are changing. Like now, getting into my 40s, sex in my 40s is very different than it was in my 20s and my 30s. And like we were just saying, kind of when we took a pause for a minute, and we were just saying about how like whether you come or not come, like some people don't during sex.
Yeah, like how many people are having sex, and like I know most often or not, like the guy usually comes no matter what.
Yeah.
But like every time we have, like I've never had sex with Sean and like not
finished. Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, for me, it used to be super easy. Yeah. Like multiple times, no problem. Yeah. Didn't even take me long to get there, you know. And now, in the past year or so, I've said to Jean-Luc, it takes a little bit more work. Like it takes a little bit more, I don't know whether it's rhythm or consistency, because if the rhythm changes, all of a sudden I kind of lose it. Like it's right there, and then I lose it. So I'm going, ooh, this is new, this is different. So, and he's super open to, okay, what can I do for you?
Yeah.
You know, and talking about it.
Have you ever just gone like, okay, never mind?
Yeah.
Really?
There have been a couple times where...
that's so frustrating.
Like, there have been a couple times where it's just, you know, I'm like...
not happening.
Like, I can't... It's just, I'm not there and I can't get back into it.
Yeah. But because then the longer it's been, then you start stressing.
Yeah, I'm past...
Oh, yeah?
I'm really past stressing. I'm just like, you know what?
Whatever.
This was fun for you. Next time it'll be fun for me. You know, it was one of those, because I'm going... I'm not worried about not being able to finish at all. It's just sometimes it was either like, oh, I was so close, and then I just kind of like lost
Dissipated. Yeah, that happens sometimes.
But it doesn't mean that it wasn't fun or intimate or pleasurable.
Yeah,
or, you know,
it's still intimacy.
And I know people who don't finish during sex at all. Yeah. They need like other stimulation, and so
that's different. Like, you know, having that, like, you know, making love, let's say, to your partner, and like having that connection, and like him being really attentive to your needs and wanting it to happen. Yep. Just like, okay, it's like a physiological reason, but, you know, is different than someone just like having a partner that doesn't really give a fuck about what their partner wants. I can't imagine how hard that must be.
Yeah.
But then like you're with the wrong person, obviously.
Yeah, you're obviously with the wrong person. Yeah. But or people who can't talk about it or can't talk about it openly,
like, or embarrassed.
You know, and I like things I liked even 5 years ago have kind of like, okay, we did that, let's try something. You know? And it doesn't hit the same way anymore.
You know what's a funny thing? Like when I was drinking, like I'm 2.5 years sober now, and like I'm such a like affectionate and like soft person, and like when I was nights that we were out drinking and then like hooked up or whatever, it was like rough. Yeah. And like that's not really something that I like, which I thought it was, or like maybe I was like I was like putting it on, or like I don't know.
Well, that's it. Have you ever played into the role because you know what the other person likes? I don't know. See, I think I did this a lot. I think it was earlier, just like, where it was like I wanted to make sure they were happy. I wanted to, because I think my self-confidence and self-esteem was kind of wrapped up in my sexuality too. Yeah. Like, so the more I've untangled stuff as I've gotten older, like the more it was this is something I can offer. This is something, you know, because I had a group of very, very pretty friends, and I had a lot of guys try and be friends with me to be friends with my friends. So you end up going, okay, well.
What about me?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so you kind of put on a role, like I knew what somebody liked. And
being the hypersexual one.
Yeah, and just being able to like kind of play into. But then I started being able to speak up for things that I wanted or things that I liked or things. And now I find it's more of a balance. Sometimes it's for you. Sometimes it's for me. Sometimes there's something you like. Sometimes there's something I like.
Also, porn like fucks with that too. Like of like what it's supposed to be. Like what sex is like. It's scary for young people too that like see a lot of that stuff. It's like, you know, it doesn't have to be like that. It's like, it's not a performance.
No, but I think a lot of people who grow, especially now, like kids have, like it's on, like we had to work for our porn. Like we had to like steal
just magazines.
We had to steal the magazines, or like, do you remember the Scrambled? Like at night where it would go clear, but it'd be black and white. Like there was blue and green.
And you're like,
we had to work for it. Whereas now it's just like, it's right there.
It's right there. It's scary.
And like, I think kids younger are being maybe a little bit more exposed to it. And
and it's like,
that's not what true intimacy is.
And so
it's fun to do that every once in a while and just be like down and dirty and like, you know, but that in a safe, loving, committed relationship where you are free to be yourself and to be comfortable and to be, you know, to incorporate fantasy a little bit. Yeah. It gets harder and harder. Like I said, right now I can't even remember the last time we had the house to ourselves because the kids' schedules have been all over the place. And we're at the point where, like, we literally hide in the back of our closet. Yeah. Like, we have to hide in the back of the closet.
At least it's like down in the closet.
Yeah.
It's a nice closet.
It's the far closet, you know, because...
Think Carrie Bradshaw. That's what your closet reminds me of, you know, when she's, like, trying on outfits.
It's true, actually. It's almost the same. Yeah, it's true. And we have the mirror at the back, so... Yeah. But there are days where it's the only way we're going to get this in, because there's just chaos in the house, is literally at the back of the closet or in the bathroom or, you know, like... Yeah. When we pay for the house, why are we hiding?
Yeah, but like back to the like being rough or like rough sex or whatever. Like maybe it is a part of me that like I'm too like inhibited. I'm not really inhibited. I don't feel both. Like
there are times where I just want to be held and close and face to face and intimate. And there's times where
it gets racy, but it's not like choking. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I kind of like that too.
Yeah.
Well, there are times where you just want to like just pull my hair and bend me over. Yeah. And then there are times where, you know, I really want this. I think it also follows our cycles too.
Yes.
Definitely. The more you pay attention to where you are hormonally.
Yeah, like the first week
even
after
how you're
period.
Attracted to someone changes.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
There were studies now that if you're on the pill, the type of man you're attracted to is different than the type of man you wouldn't be. Like, so people who are on the pill when
you're ovulating, it's like a caveman that you're attracted to.
Yeah, like, there are days where I'm like, well, yeah, like the gruff and like sometimes
you want to procreate.
But
can we talk about my blanket for a second? That's what I wanted to. I brought it in. I don't really use it because I'm scared of ruining it, but. This was a quilt that was made for me. Remember, at Robin, you remember Andrew Flannery from Nick's? So his wife, Beth, made this for me when I had Wade. She made a beautiful quilt, and I just, like, love it so much. It was more like...
It's like a perfect lap size. For
I would put it on the ground, like, for Wade when he was, like, a little baby. But, yeah.
Yeah, my brother and Stephanie still have, like, they have a blanket that they have down for the kids to, like, play on.
Yeah.
And,
I miss those baby days where you just like they're potatoes. And
I love that we're like cozied up like grandmas talking about wanting our hair pulled and bent over the table. But
I'm in my Snuggie, guys. Like it doesn't get any like less attractive than that.
Okay, I'm in my these are pajamas I actually wear to bed. So I wear it. It's funny because I'm super covered because I don't like when my arms get cold at night. So I don't like when my arms are out, and I don't like when my arms get cold. And so I like being fully covered when I sleep. Yeah. Yeah, Jean-Luc would be very happy if we just went.
It's so you like shark and like Canada flag colors, like.
Well, it's a dye flag. My shark.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Oh, it's my shark diver shirt. But I need my arms covered. I don't really care about the rest of me, but I need my arms covered. But again, we had kids running into the bedroom so often that like you can't sleep pantless. It just doesn't.
Yeah, like
work.
Sean will sleep in boxers. Sorry, babe. Like he'll sleep in boxers when the kids are home, but when they're not home, he'll like sleep naked. And like sometimes I'm like, why are you wearing boxers? Like why are you wearing shorts? And he's like, well, kids are home or whatever. Or the odd time he's gotten in bed and he's like clothed. I'm like, scared of something happening, or like, and he's like, no, I'm just wearing shorts.
A couple times, like, because Jean-Luc wears like his shorts around the house too. Like, it's kind of a funny story. I'm gonna out some of our neighbors. So,
no names.
Oh, it's okay. They'll probably find it funny. Anyway, so Jean-Luc didn't realize I had them coming over, and he was downstairs to get coffee, but he was in his like hot pink briefs. Like there's not much to leave to the imagination. And he didn't realize I had let them in, and he had like I'm like,
yeah, you have to come around to go up the stairs.
I'm like, I'm really sorry, guys.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's like being in a bathing suit.
Yeah, actually, when he got the huge tattoo on his leg, he bought short shorts to be able to show the tattoo, but of course they had to be hot pink. Jean-Luc loves pink. He owns it now. Yeah, he's like, it's my favorite color. I'm tired of not, so he loves pink. But he bought these hot pink shorts, like 1980s, like shorts. That's amazing. And it's funny because my cousin and her daughter were in from Nova Scotia, and what do they call him? Hot pants? I think they call. Yeah, they still call him hot pants. Yeah. His hot pink shorts.
I love it when people just like I said, Jean-Luc changed a lot. He's coming. He just wants to wear what he wants to wear.
We had a family reunion. In the photo, he's wearing these hot pink shorts with my entire extended family, and of course he's front and center with the dog. And I'm like, yep, that's that's him, and he owns it, and he's finally comfortable enough to be himself, and I love that. But I'm like, really, in our family photo, like you couldn't really? Okay, well, now it's a joke. Yeah. But okay, so let's we're kind of going off on topics, but you said you're not going into perimenopause, right? Like you're not quite there yet.
Well, I've noticed like my periods changed a little bit, and like my PMS is pretty intense, but I feel like it's like depending on if I've been eating well and like exercising regularly, like that makes a big difference, and hydrating and like just taking care of myself. Like, I find...
Yeah, I'm starting to get weird symptoms, like weird stuff. Like I'm actually seeing my doctor on Thursday because I'm like, I think there's some stuff going on.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it was...
You just turned, if you're
44. I just turned 44.
It's a good number.
I like my 44. I love my 40s. I really love my 40s. I'm happier than I've ever been. Mm-hmm. I'm more comfortable than I've ever been. I kind of just...
I hear that from everybody. Yeah. That like 40s are like the new 20. Like, that it's just, you know who you are. I read something one time, and it was like the first half of your life, let's say before, not half, but like the first, up until 40, you're like going through relationships. You don't really know what you want. You're like learning about yourself. And then like as you age, when you hit 40,
you mellow with certain things.
You kind of know who you are. And then like the rest is just fun. Yeah. Because you're like, I know what I want. I know what I don't want. Like we put up with less shit. Like it's just, now it's like, okay.
Yeah, I find like I have a pretty good grasp of who I am, my values, what matters, what I want, what I don't want, the voice to say so. I've gone through peaks and valleys of being comfortable in my skin and not comfortable in my skin, loving my body, not loving my body. And now like I still have some of those, but it's more of a acceptance. Yeah. It's the okay, you know what? Aging is normal, and I'm happy to age. And like I have the
I'm
laugh
starting
lines.
to notice. I'm starting to notice like my face.
Yeah,
like
the laugh lines. Yeah, and, like like the little things. But I'm going. You know
my rogue hairs. But like one day they're not there, and then they're like 2 inches long. Yeah. I'm like,
where did they come from? Yeah, I have the
so satisfying.
I got laser for like a couple. Like I got legs and stuff. So I'm like, that's just But those are things that we don't like. We all go through, but I think people don't talk about. I think we're talking about this stuff more and more, but. Just like body, like I had a C-section, right? So I have the scar across, and I'm like,
doesn't bug me at all.
It's never going to look the way it did when I was 20. Yeah. I've got stretch marks.
I've always had like a little like indentation. I don't know if like I'm always like, is it because we wore our pants? We wore like super low-rise jeans back then. I'm like, you know, I always
I've
had
never
that little...
I've never had a flat stomach in my life.
Me neither.
Like, ever from
no,
the
except
time
for when I was like 7 or something.
I don't even think back then because I was a chubby kid, right? So I've never had a flat stomach. I don't think I ever will. And even Jean-Luc the other day, we were talking finances, we were talking about goals, we were talking about things we wanted, things. And I had mentioned a couple years ago that I'd love one of the mommy makeovers, you know, like the tummy tuck and like the boob lift and, you know, like, and I had said it in passing a couple of times.
You don't need a boob lift.
I like my boobs.
Yeah.
Boobs. But he mentioned it the other day, like if that was a goal, if that was still something I wanted, that we could figure it out, like we'll figure it out financially. And it was funny because I'm like, 5 years ago, I probably would have jumped on that. And now all of a sudden when he mentioned it, I'm like, I think I'm more about trying to accept the body that I have. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like I don't know what switched in my head, but I look around going, you know what? I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm climbing volcanoes. I'm diving oceans. I'm keeping up with my kids. So I'm not a size 2 and won't ever be. Mm-hmm. But I'm going, I have a body that functions, that takes me on adventures. Like we were climbing Mount Pelée last year. Completely unprepared.
Yeah.
Okay. Google
story.
The mountains that you're going to climb before you agree.
They ran out of water.
Oh man. No, like we were told it was like a half-day hike. It ended up being like 10 and a half hours and it was like full bouldering. And we didn't bring hiking gear because we weren't planning on hiking on this trip. So I'm in like my Air Adidas.
You're like,
and
we're walking on a trail. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was stupid. And I had like my carry-on backpack, not even like a hiker backpack. And we brought fruits and water. But there was this point in the hike right after the peak, like we had done the summit, we had done the entire crater where we ran out of water. We ran out, like we had nothing left. My shoes kept rolling because it was like there was no support in the ankles. And it was like bouldering, right? So you're like full body. And I wanted to break. There was a moment where
leave me
I'm like,
here.
I don't want to do this anymore. Call the Uber.
Yeah.
Get the plane. This is not fun anymore. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I caught my brain going, if I start going down this negative path, I'm like, I don't know how many hours we have left to go down. And I had to stop myself. And so
that's amazing. That shows how much brain.
But I had to be like,
power.
okay, the only way I'm going to get off this mountain is one step at a time. The only way I'm going to get down to the bottom is being very careful. And because I also had if I fall and hurt my hand, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
And it was steep. I mean, it was steep. Like it was one of the toughest climbs, whatever.
I watch these like shows of like survival and I'm like, I wouldn't make it.
Like
something kicks in.
I was so worried about like just one rolled ankle and then having to put my hand down and then catching. Yeah. So what I did was in my head as I was navigating every individual step was I had a mantra that I would do where it was steady as a rock, light as a feather, steady as a rock, light as a feather. Because if I go, don't twist your ankle, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to twist my ankle. So I changed it in my head. But then I hit this point of almost kind of like, I'm going to make it. I'm going to get down to the car. We're going to get water. We're going to be sleeping on a boat tonight. So by the time I'm eating supper, this day is done. So I got to this point of, I am so thankful that I have a body that can carry me up and down this mountain, that I have legs that work, that I have a heart that, like, I switched to this gratitude. And right as I did that, Jean-Luc went into full heat stroke. So all of a sudden.
Well, it's good because if you were in the mindset that you were a few minutes before, it would have been fucked.
Oh, no, it was like, he like, right as I went, you know what? I love this body. It's taking me on adventures. This is my vehicle to carry my soul around, to have adventures. Like, we have this one life. Let's live it up. Like, I got into this really cool, like, I'm standing on the side of a volcano looking at the ocean in one of the most beautiful places. So I got into this, life is good. And he's like, babe, I stopped sweating. I'm like, wait, what? And he was like, hot, red, dry skin, no more sweat coming out. Like, I'm like, shift into, we got to get you down the mountain. Yeah. And so, but it was one of these where I'm like, I really started looking at my body as the meat suit that carries my soul around. It's really just
it's a vessel.
It is the packaging. And I remember telling Allie once, because Allie's fought with her weight too. And like, I fought with my weight, and I remember how hard it was for me. She handles it so much better than I do. I mean, she's got a lot more confidence.
But I find there's a lot more, like, people are just more accepting.
She wants to be strong.
Us, it was like fucking...
Oh, yeah, we had, like, the heroin chic YM17 magazine where, unless you looked like a meth addict, you were,
fat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She has a lot more confidence about it, but, like, I always worried, and I parented a little bit through worry that she would go through some of the stuff that I went through, but she hasn't. She's, like, she's so proud of being strong.
And athletic.
Yeah.
Like,
and she's tough. But I remember telling her years ago, I'm like, when you get a present, is it really the wrapping that matters or what's inside? Yeah. And I know that sounded super cheesy, but I'm like, this is just the packaging. And I'm lucky to have a packaging that's functional, that works, that's, you know.
You turn me on to like the near-death experience videos. I watch them like every night before I go to sleep, and like
how amazing.
They're amazing. And like one of them, I think the one I watch the most it's called The Other Side, NDE.
Yep.
And
The Other Side and Coming Home.
Whenever people like leave their bodies, they look down and they're like, I had no connection to that body.
Thing. It's just
they're like,
body.
I knew it was me, but I didn't feel like.
And we identify so much with our shell.
Yeah. And it's just not who we are.
It's not who we are. And so the more I've kind of embodied.
And I'm at a place too, like where now we go to the beach, or I'm like, I go to the spa, and I'm like, no, like before I would have been so aware of my body, and now I'm just like.
Tie the towel up higher so you don't see the rolls.
And now I'm just like, this is me, and like, I don't care. And like, even just watching these videos back, I don't care anymore. Like, and it's such a freeing, like, fun thing. I do have days where I'm more self-conscious or whatever, and it is tied to like whether I've been like taking care of myself or not, like exercising and stuff.
I started tracking those too, and there's certain days a month where I just don't feel good in my
like
skin.
if I'm PMSing, forget about it. I feel like my mom says 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag, like, you know, and like those are the worst times in the month where I'm like, I feel gross, I have pimples, like, you know, and I just like but for the most part, I'm just not as like aware of my body. You know, when you're out in public and you like feel like everyone's looking at you, like that's gone. And like I don't care what people think. And honestly, like,
but true and authentically, as opposed to like in our 20s, we're like, I don't care what people think.
Yeah, no, you really fucking do.
No, and now I'm like, I still want to present myself, and I love wearing makeup.
Yeah,
it's funny because Jean-Luc and my daughter and I were like, we like you without makeup. I'm like, that's great. I like wearing makeup. I like the process of doing makeup in the mornings.
Yeah, it's like a ritual.
Yeah. So for me, it's not necessarily about, I'm not doing it for somebody else. I'm doing it because it sets the tone for me in the morning, artistically, creatively. I always match my eyes to my outfit. Like, for me, it's kind of a little painting canvas that I do in the morning. But more and more, I'm going out without makeup. I'm going out, like, because I just don't want care. I don't care.
Actually, Patrick, the kid's dad, said to me one time, like, because the kid's like, Alice is going to start notice that I'm putting on makeup, and like the other day I was getting ready and she was like taking my blush brush and whatever, and he said like he's like, I saw a cute video and it was like, why are you putting on makeup, mommy? It's like, it's because I want to feel fancy, not because I want to like look beautiful.
I like that,
which I think is a really cute. I like
that.
It's just the way I want to feel fancy.
Yeah, I was very careful around my kids to not complain about body image.
Oh my god, you'll never hear me say anything.
And it was, because again, for me, it was so ingrained in like high school years and things like that, and unfortunately it kind of warped my thinking for a long time, that I was very like, just no, it's not something we're going to talk about. But when I have those moments, like how that ties into sexuality or feeling like a woman or feeling desirable, I really lucked out with Jean-Luc. He has loved me and told me I was beautiful through every phase, through every look I've gone through gaining weight and losing weight, through purple hair and rainbow hair and tattoos and no tattoos. And he still tells me I'm beautiful. He's still, you know, like almost every, like we still have, it's funny because he needs touch to sleep. Like, so we are always cuddling or holding, like we fall asleep holding it, but then my hand gets hot and I literally wait till he falls asleep and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put my arm, you know.
Well, you know where you're with the right person if they make you feel like, you know.
He does. I have no doubt that he is still attracted to me, that he still loves me. That
so for him, it's like his love language would be like words of affirmation too. Like he tells you, like Sean, like I know he thinks that I'm beautiful and hot and whatever, but like he he doesn't compliment me a lot.
See, Jean-Luc's gotten a lot better at vocalizing it because he didn't say it a lot back in the day, but he's gotten a lot better at, like he figured something out a couple of years ago where he's like, oh, if I just tell you, then you know. I'm like, yeah, amazing Logic. How that works. You know?
Sean, like,
but he's like, I always thought it. Yeah. I'm like, yes, but I'm not in your head.
Yeah. And I'm sure Sean too, like we'll be getting ready to go out for an evening and I'm like dolled up, like Saturday, it was Steph's birthday, we went out for dinner and like he'll come up and be like, how do I look? And I'm like, you look great, babe.
Yep.
And then like he won't say like you look really amazing. Like he won't. But like I know he's probably thinking it. Like and I'm not like super hurt by it, but I'm like, it'd be nice to like
when I lack the confidence, like or when I have a day where I'm like he's like, you're beautiful. Yeah. He's like, I want you all the time. And after 12 years and 3 kids and blended families and to still feel desired, that's the seed planting of intimacy that I find I need a lot more than I used to, and it works. And it's one of those
because we're
where,
aging and we're not like in our like quote unquote prime anymore. But like fuck that, we are like I think it's all about, again, everything's about confidence and like how you feel about yourself truly. Yeah. And like you were saying about like the mommy like tuck and whatever, like me too. Like I want to like I don't have like big lips, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I'd like to get a lip flipper. Like, you know, I got Botox a couple times here, and like I'm starting.
I've never done the Botox. I've never done anything cosmetic on my face. I wonder now, like,
your lips are perfect. Do not touch them. Don't touch their lips.
Okay, but they're getting smaller than
no,
they used
they're
to.
not.
No.
They're perfect. You have great lips. Like I have no top lip. Like when I smile, it like disappears. So I'm like, but then
yes,
like
but you have perfectly straight teeth, so those show. Like, see, these are all the little things that we do as women, where somebody else won't notice, or somebody else will love something on you that you. Yeah. And I started.
But and I love you. I find your teeth are so like you wouldn't be you if you didn't have.
And it's funny because Johnny wouldn't have noticed me if I. Because when we first like,
I love your teeth.
Yeah, he said to me the thing that caught my attention was your teeth, and I'm like, it's so funny because that was the one thing that I had the most self-conscious about for a long time because they're not perfectly straight. Everyone got like everyone and their uncles had braces. I didn't get braces when I probably should have, but he wouldn't have. You know what I mean? So the little things that bug us about us sometimes are the thing that somebody else loves about it. You know. So
and I also like I'm just. Whatever, if people who get like cosmetic anything, like if that makes you feel good, I'm all about like if you're not hurting anybody and it makes you feel good, who gives a shit like what people think. But I'm also scared to like go against like my morals almost, and like I am all about like appreciating my body and like being grateful and everything, and I'm like getting injections in my lips, like does that really align with like
it's funny because it's so accessible now. Like, it's so common and accessible that it's an option. But then I look at some of the ones that go so far where I'm like, you don't even look like you anymore. You know, like, so I'm like,
it's like an addiction.
Do I want to age gracefully? Do I want to? So I'm, you know, like, I think I'm way more leaning towards I'm going to age gracefully and enjoy the gray hairs and enjoy like all these little laugh lines. To me, I'm like, you know what? It's the amount of times I've smiled or laughed or giggled, or it's the roadmap on my face. And tomorrow I might not feel that way, but today I'm like, I'm gonna, you know what?
And I'm all about too, like, taking care of yourself from the inside out. Like, and like, if you radiate like health and happiness, then
there is something. See, one of my guy friends years ago had said, confidence is one of the sexiest qualities. And this got planted in my head. I think I was like 19 years old. And he was kind of saying, he's like, men don't notice the things women notice on their bodies.
One of my ex-boyfriends said that to me. He's like, so I wouldn't have noticed that had you not pointed it out.
Exactly.
Like,
so if a girl is like, oh my God, my thighs, oh my God, my stomach, they're like, we're just happy to be there. We don't notice until somebody is like, oh my God, I don't like this. Yeah. And then he's like, then we can't stop noticing.
Yeah, because and also you're showing out your insecurity. And sometimes like the confidence is, I've had to like fake confidence before, but then it eventually ends up being real. It's like fake it till you make it.
Yeah, but this is why I think when you look at like those stupid stereotypes and stuff, but like the jocks or the arrogant guy in school, like everyone's like, oh my God,
because they're the most insecure.
Usually they are now that you know that as an adult. But there was something to be said, like there's that fine line between confidence and arrogance. Yeah. Like, but there's an attractive quality with confidence when somebody's like just exudes confidence. Yeah. The problem is as teenagers, when it's arrogance, people mistake it for confidence, and you know. Yeah. But as you grow up, there's something about somebody who just carries themselves with confidence that is super attractive. There's something, I don't know, that goes out into the pheromones or some science behind it, but and I remember him saying to me, confidence is one of the sexiest qualities. When somebody is just happy to be who they are, who's confident in their body. Bodies are not perfect. You look around, nobody's body is perfect.
You know, when you're like going on vacation and you're so concerned, like if you're going to like an all-inclusive, you're like, oh my God, like I need to lose weight before or whatever. I would never now, but like, and then you get there and you realize like everyone is the same. Like everyone's average. It's like also social media. It's like always showing us like
the Instagram photo,
and it's like, and we think that's reality, but it's not.
It's not. Everyone and it started with magazines when we were teens. And even now, okay, the photos I post, I know my angle, I know the lighting, I know which way to turn my head.
And I'm sure some people see us and they're like, oh, you don't look like that or whatever.
No, it's because I know exactly how to hold my camera with the right lighting to like.
Yeah, but there's extremes too. I know people who like filter their pictures so much that they're unrecognizable. Yeah. We don't do that, but like.
I like there's a certain angle where it's down this way so you don't see, you know, but I think
it's art too. Like that's another art form. So.
The photography of it all.
We went long on this episode.
I know, we could talk sex all day long.
sex but it's all
relationships and womanhood and empowerment and
yeah.
The last weird little thing I'm going to throw out there in case you're feeling, because I brought this up to my cousins the other day and they're like, oh my God, me too. So I'm throwing it out there. There's something that happens around this age where you can't tell the difference between horny and tired.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I looked this up because I'm like, this is weird. Where I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, ooh, I'm super horny. And then I'm like, now I just need a nap.
Yeah.
There's actually something going on there where it's like a chemical thing that I looked up. So if you are at this point in your 40s where all of a sudden you're like, I feel like having sex. And then you're like, nope, I think I need a nap. There's actually, there's actually a hormonal flush that's happening. Really? That it's, we'll do another episode.
Our bodies are so weird. I know. People are weird.
Now at least we can look it up.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did. I think it's our favorite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do more where it's less tattoos and more just us talking about the stuff we talk about when we're together. So
keep telling your stories one tattoo at a time.
See you next time.